Hello and welcome to another update video about Chiliz. So Chiliz has performed really well, and yeah, obviously there's a bit of a sentiment shift to the upside now given the World Cup. It is one of the charts that I've discussed previously in the opportunities videos, the member only videos, as well as here in videos for everybody, about just that it's one of the better charts out there, that the low of the bear market here possibly was in at 7 cents. It's a similar chart to Ethereum in the latest few days. On the last few days, it's even looking stronger than Ethereum. But obviously what we need to remember, this has a shorter price history and therefore or chart history, and therefore just due to the nature of it, of that chart history, it is higher risk than, for example, Ethereum or a cryptocurrency that has seen several cycles already. Chiliz hasn't got that chart history, but it still is one of the more interesting price charts. Maybe we start with a long-term view here. Obviously still a young chart, but we talked about that in one of the previous videos, that this here most likely was a wave 1, an impulse to the upside in March 21, where we reached around $1. We then came down in a wave 2, basically a large ABC correction, or possibly even WXY. That isn't that important, to be honest, as we have probably already seen the bear market low. It has definitely come down enough for that. Maybe we can even check just the fib levels just to sort of get a rough understanding. And you can see here, I mean, it's not exact, but you can see that it actually did hold that critical level that I've been talking about, the 88.7% Fibonacci retracement level. There are a few coins, or many coins actually, that dropped below that level. And that is never good for a coin or an asset. It just isn't. And it just brings those assets into a higher risk classification. Absolutely, yeah. So we need to be careful with that. Any coin that drops below that level, there are many coins which are below that level, and it's not a good area to be in. But Chiliz, and that's one reason why I like this chart, it has turned around before dropping below that level. I mean, yeah, briefly, but this is not important. Important is a sustainable break below it, and Chiliz hasn't had it. So one coin that, for example, is doing that at the moment is VeChain. VeChain has dropped below it, and dropped below it I think already in June, and has been staying below it for months now, and there is no sign of recovery at the moment, and this is not good for a coin. When I say these things, I always get the message that, yeah, for example, ADA or many other coins did drop below that level in previous bear markets. Yes, they did, and they did recover, and just because it drops below that level doesn't mean it will die. On the flip side though, this is the level. If coins drop below that, it massively increases the risk, and the evidence is thousands of coins that died. There are thousands of cryptocurrencies that are on the crypto graveyard and that never recovered from that area, right? Of course there are coins that do recover, and in a first bear market, coins, I would even say, are allowed to drop below that level, just because of the volatility of the crypto space. But it is still not a good place to be, and if you can avoid, or if you can find coins that avoid dropping below it, like Binance, BNB, or Chiliz, then it's a good place to be. Yeah, okay, so I mean, holding above it. But from that low in June, we have moved up in a wave 1. That has been the view for the last few weeks and months here, since I started covering Chiliz. And then we've seen this ABC correction here. And then I told you in one of the previous videos, or two of the previous videos, we talked about the yellow box here as an entry area. Yes, this is a possible 1-2 setup, and the sort of yellow support box here was an entry area or a trend reversal area. I don't really want to call it entry area because it's up to you if you enter or not. I can only give you the price areas where I believe the price is reversing. And if it doesn't, it doesn't, but then you set a stop loss somewhere below that area, because then it will normally be invalidated. Yeah. Of course, these boxes don't always work out, but they are the areas where, with the highest probability, in an ideal scenario, you want the price to turn around. And it did that, and that would have been a profitable trade. Yeah, so it would have moved from, or it did move actually 50% in just a few days. That is really good, especially if you look at the entire state of the market. So yeah. This 1-2 setup did work out, and then we had even here a 1-2 setup in small, and it has reached a wave 3 target. It came here in this sort of bullish pennant, broke out as anticipated to the upside, and then yesterday I updated you about 2 price targets. When I made my update video yesterday, the higher price target was reached perfectly with the accuracy of, I don't know, a cent or whatever, because we reached perfectly. I just need to double check that I've put it, yeah, exactly. So basically we put the fibs here to the end of the triangle, the end of the Elliott Wave triangle, because this was a wave 4. So where the triangle is ending is the low of the wave 4, and then you're measuring basically the length of the wave 1, which ended here at around 21 cents, and you add it to the end of the triangle, the end of the Elliott Wave triangle. You can count this on a lower time frame as an A, B, C, D, E, and this is exactly at the low of the E wave where you add it to. And then you had two targets. I mentioned that yesterday in the video. The first one was the 1-to-1 ratio at 25.5 cents. And you can see we had a candle which got rejected here briefly, but then we pushed through to the second target, 27.4 cents. And that was exactly the upper price target. And it broke down. I told you in the previous video as well that one signal when we might be reversing. So these are the two targets. Yeah, if we push through the first one, we reach the second one, which we did. And then a first signal that the trend is reversing, if you add a trend line, is that the break of the trend line occurs, which it did. Strong red candle, and we might now be in the move down. Basically, the assumption would be that we are now in this larger upside pattern. So basically, if we say the low of the bear market was already in this wave 2, we're now in a larger wave 3 to the upside. And in this wave 3, we have seen a wave 1, obviously, wave 2, and we're now in the third wave. General target for the third wave is around, I think, 30 cents or something. No, it's actually higher. It's around 47 cents, the white wave 3. But within that, you've got 5 subwaves as well, and we are now in the orange wave 3, I believe. And in the orange wave 3, we've had, we obviously have 5 subwaves as well, and I can add these to the chart now as well, because this is now where it's getting relevant. And in the orange wave 3, we've seen here wave 1. This is probably a wave 2 that's coming down here now. There'll be a wave 3, 4, and 5. I just need to change the wave degrees here. I'll do that in the next video. The point is we're probably now coming down in this wave 2, and that would be in the most likely scenario an ABC pattern. A, B, C, yeah, something like that, ABC. And the area to get into most likely, that is the area where I will probably consider buying in again, yeah, adding again after taking profits here yesterday around 25.5 cents. I did take some profits of a position that I bought at 19 cents. Assuming the reversal has now started, which I think it does. Obviously, you can never really rule it out. Therefore, I still have something left in the trade. Didn't completely take profits. And by the way, because people always ask, I made everybody aware on Telegram and Discord about that. This is the support area where I would buy in again. Yeah, at the 78.6% fib level, between that area at 19.9 cents and the 50%, which is at 22.6 cents. This is where this 1-2 setup should find support and should move on. Of course, you can never rule out that you find a short wave 2. So that would be here the 38.2% fib level. It can always turn around there, but it would be shorter than ideal. You would normally expect it to get into this region here. Yeah, and that is currently my view about Chiliz. So, I mean, what we need to understand, an earlier than expected breakout to the upside would be confirmed if we break above the 27.5 cent level. But at the moment, it doesn't really look like that. Okay, that's my update about Chiliz. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.